certainty,
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 certainty.
Blowing up Parliament's going to make this country a better place.
There's no certainty, only opportunity.
Tell her she's not fucking speaking.
Okay, well, you both seem pretty certain.
Well, let my certainty supersede her certainty. Certainty.
Some people will tell you with absolute certainty they know. Certainty they know. Certainty they know.
She actually walked. I don't mean just stumble walking like an infant or a toddler. She walked with absolute certainty.
Much stronger than this case.
A fucking yes or a no.
We don't deal in certainty.
Until recently, I would have said with absolute certainty that he was greater. Far greater than the sum of his parts.
Can you tell me with 100% certainty that there's no bomb in Harold Clark's trailer?
One of the few certainties in life is that persons of certainty should certainly be avoided.
There are two things I know with dead certainty: how to shoulder roll out of a human pyramid and the black arts of the butler's escape.
But these past weeks, that faith has been replaced with certainty.
His data did not show 100% certainty. Just that there was a risk, but it was a real risk.
Can you say with certainty that that's not true?
Go live. It's a possibility, but not a certainty. There may be another way. We've never been here.
label,
label, label,
Label. Label.
Side effect of these arthritis pills. Read the label, the label, the label.
I did.
You printed a fake label, just to prove I'm a hypochondriac?
Did it work? Blah. Label. Labor.
So just come to my label and let me play your demo to my partner.
Look, we don't have to put a label on it. That's fine, I get it, but...
Excuse me. This is from one of my friends. You see the label on the bottle. It's a non-alcoholic beer.
That jacket. I don't know. Can I look at the label? Sure.
Hey, for real? Don't let them head game hippies label you, man.
Like crazy Jake's here.
Right.
I'm not an alcoholic.
I know. The whole label thing is so limiting.
But unfortunately for Lynette, this new label frequently fell short of what was advertised.
In Piedmont.
Your vineyard?
Yeah, that's why I insisted on this restaurant. They carry my label.
No, I mean that she was actually wearing a Red Riding Hood costume. It said so right in the label.
Is that true, man?
No, of course not. How would I know that?
We met with a woman from the record label. She says that she's your girlfriend.
What's all this?
Return labels for Eddie and me.
fleet,
fleet,
Fleet.
fleet,
Fleet.
I think it'll feel less huge once we get some furniture in here, you know.
Yeah, or a fleet of sedans. Fleet of sedans. Fleet of sedans.
Mom, it's for a concert, not to meet the fleet. The fleet. The fleet.
Hey, it's an audition.
Ronan, the Nova Corps has sent a fleet to defend the prison.
Every driver in your fleet gets a handgun.
And a permit.
Mm-hmm.
He's armed himself with 12-pounders since he joined my father's fleet.
Hexagonal. That's either Street Fleet or Zenith.
You haven't gone unnoticed by fleet, Alex. You're gonna get an atom smash.
USS Missouri was the final battleship to be completed by the United States before being decommissioned and replaced with a more modern fleet of vessels like destroyers.
It has a depth of about 2 nautical miles.
And we are in contact with Admiral Shane and Pacific Fleet. But right now, our Navy is effectively trapped outside the area.
Casualties, get in there, will you?
Captain Wolf, you need an ambulance.
I need a fleet of ambulances, all right?
The fleet is preparing. Judging by wind speed, they should be within range in 2 minutes.
But the reality is, I don't have a fleet of helicarriers or Quinjets or thousands of agents at my disposal anymore. So what's he doing here?
Fleet Week.
Humble, 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 humble.
Humble.
Call this humble? Tumble? Tumble?
Single malt scotch neat, right?
Down. Humble. Humble. Humble.
Devoted to family and home.
Welcome to my humble abode. Humble abode. Humble abode.
And how's your project coming? Are you still planning to change the way we humble scientists view memory assimilation?
Here's a thousand hours. I thank you in my humble way.
Voila! In view, a humble vaudevillian veteran, cast vicariously as both victim and villain by the vicissitudes of fate.
And who are you?
I am a humble admirer and a fellow practitioner.
Supposed to what? Make me quake? Make me humble?
Make you honest.
Welcome to my goddamn humble abode.
Welcome to your humble abode.
Guess what? You said I couldn't sell this? Well, you're gonna be eating a humble pie?
Then allow me to humble you. Your info tap on Senator Kerrigan died with Anna.
Valid.
Valid. Valid. Valid. Valid.
A no-fly list and your passport's no longer valid. No longer valid. No longer valid.
Relax. We're all on the same team here. That's a valid question. Valid question. Valid question, Paul.
Okay, well, the details matter.
You're a hot doctor, but you're alone because you're always making excuses instead of taking a risk.
This is a pretty valid fucking excuse. Pretty valid fucking excuse. Pretty valid fucking excuse.
Do you have a reservation?
I do. Its last name is Brewster.
Brewster. Okay. Oh, there it is. I just need a valid license and credit card.
Great. No problem.
I don't mind having this discussion with you. I actually enjoy thoughtful exchange about this. And you do bring up a valid point, you know what I'm saying?
Like, that's a valid excuse. Man, excuse me one second.
Whose side is he really on?
It's a valid question. He favors easing restrictions.
So do I.
Giant pool of algae?
It's a valid sexual orientation, according to this article at least.
Why is your vendetta more valid than mine? We're the same, you and I.
I know I said I would never, ever bring you coffee again, but the city facing a bioweapon attack seemed like a valid exception.
We just need to get her into a dark space. How do we do that?
It's a valid question.
Hello? Our only mandate is to send universities valid scores, and we invalidate the ones that aren't legitimate.
Weed.
Weed. Weed.
Weed.
Weed.
Frank, stop smoking weed! Weed! Weed!
Oh, Carl, get Liam away from the stairs.
How much do you love this weed? 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 It's a miracle.
Click antidepressants, Ritalin.
Also other native plants. Wormwood, Jimson weed.
The amount of Jimson weed or Ritalin you'd have to ingest seems like you would have mentioned it.
Well, I could see how that would weed out the lightweights.
You helped put away half the crew in Staten Island.
Too bad the weeds grew back, huh?
They always do.
They can't all be criminals. We'll do some weeding at headquarters.
Oh, you're in the weeds.
All right, sure. I mean, I smoke a little weed. Wouldn't you, locked up in these veal pens all day, collating invoices?
Crazy. Getting busted for smoking weed.
It's supposed to be a time to contemplate your future faith.
Well, yeah. I was seeing how, in the future, I wouldn't want to smoke weed.
Drugs?
Weed, pills, some cocaine every now and then.
Okay, so you made sure he was supplied.
No, God, no.
What was your name again? Climbing weed?
Running tree.
Dials a day?
I'm afraid so, but it did allow me to
Weed out almost half of the calls.
Liver. Liver.
Liver. Liver. Liver.
Liver available yet, so there is nothing to enjoy. But as Miss Nyholm well knows,
Missing ligament structure has wandered over there right next to your liver. Liver. Now, we discussed it at the staff meeting. Everyone thinks you should have it removed immediately.
Well, obviously my liver is a write-off, but My acupuncturist will testify to the virginal state of my spleen.
Ding, ding, boom, boom, elbow, elbow, boom, liver shot, bang, 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 oh.
What the hell do you want a secondary brain for anyway? I mean, every part of the kaiju sells. Cartilage, spleen, liver, even the crap.
I need that wallet, please.
You're not getting the wallet back.
Please, take the money.
That's for my liver, that's for my prostate.
Junior, I was talking about food. What do you think?
Liver, anyhow. Heart, if you can get to it. Lining my chest, my liver, just...
Hey, why not?
Now give me your fucking car before I put a bullet in your liver.
Surgeries. No, not 6.
Yes, it was. Ruptured spleen, pierced liver, collapsed lung.
Oh, don't forget the brief coma.
With all the damage you've done to your liver over the years, I guess you have just under 36 hours.
He's fine. Tangential gunshot wound to the liver, so he's gonna need a little time.
Likewise.
Likewise. Likewise.
Likewise.
Likewise.
Think that I would
You'd ever see me again? Likewise. Likewise. Likewise.
Do you know Riley? This is Rupert.
Hi, I'm actually a big fan.
Likewise. Likewise. Likewise.
Nice to see you again, Mr. Palmer.
Likewise. 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 And please, call me Ray.
I'm motivating you.
All the shit I have on you, I can bury you, punk. Likewise.
Maybe Bob's doing likewise. Maybe he's already long gone.
I think you're lying.
Yeah.
Saving the wind to bleed your mouth.
Likewise.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Acton.
Likewise, I'm sure. Let's get on, shall we?
Should meet my good friend Leon.
Nice to meet you, Leon.
Likewise, Mike, likewise. Let's see that merchandise, huh?
A little too soon for that kind of talk, but I appreciate the thought. Enjoy your evening. Likewise.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Likewise.
Whoa, I never thought I'd be happy to see you.
Yeah, likewise. Let's get out of here. Please don't make me relive every day of high school. Hi, nice to finally meet you.
Likewise.
Assistant.
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 My real question was, did you give her sexuality as a diversion tactic?
I don't follow.
Like a stage magician with a hot assistant. Assistant. Assistant.
It's my new assistant. 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 All you need to know are the 3 ups. Show up, keep up, shut up.
Carrie was going door to door with equity partners, lining up support. He heard it from your assistant.
How are you testing that basic color?
As the new rotating lab assistant, your job will be to do very boring, very repetitive experiments.
Okay, so...
Wow.
That's why you're no longer a couple.
A couple?
Oh, no.
We were never a couple.
No.
He used to saw me in half.
She was a very good assistant.
Yeah, but I was too fat for that.
Glad you could come aboard. Looks like we share an assistant, so tell me when I'm hogging her, okay?
Again, I want to thank you for your service. My assistant will validate your parking.
Ria Torres.
Zoe Landau.
Hi.
This assistant...
Assistant U.S. Attorney.
Donuts are going like hotcakes. Oh. I know that look.
Assistant DA Jan Ottinger. This is Dr. Cal Lightman.
Assistant DA with no time for small talk.
The other day at Whole Foods, he spent an hour optimizing the cheese aisle.
Yeah, and some thanks I got. The assistant manager chased me out with an artisanal salami.
Okay, look, Kim, I really don't have time right now. I have to get to Mr. Beta's office to see if his assistant has listened to my song.
Interfere.
Interfere. Interfere. Interfere. Interfere.
I had the magic beans in my grasp, and you sent this very attractive devil woman to interfere. You are a curse on my life.
What's no coconuts?
No!
Never interfere with the first-person shooter.
Consent to the wedding.
Keep close watch over her.
We don't want anything to interfere with our next move.
This is a test site for a new weapon. His orders were to observe but not interfere. Brass must have wanted to make sure the weapon worked.
Awareness of you at MI6. He thought you might interfere.
If those women were indeed his victims, now he knows our plan. He can interfere.
You know we're gonna figure this out.
Well, I've been asked not to interfere.
I made sure I'm in the loop. We are too close to let the police interfere.
Sorry to interfere with your wedding night.
So, I'm gonna keep moving forward with my operation. I hope I don't have to worry about interference.
I won't interfere. Unless I feel I need to.
Listen to your mother. She's right. Anyone who tries to interfere with my plan is going to have to deal with the dark one.
All of us.
I'm just supposed to let her ride or die?
Whatever her fate, we can't interfere.
This can get very ugly very fast. Why were you sent here to interfere with her?
No one sent me.
Allow.
Allow. Allow. Allow. Allow.
I need to give them a real shot.
I cannot allow this. Cannot allow this. Cannot allow this.
Allow me, allow me, allow me to buy us all a drink.
Without that certainty, I cannot allow a jury under my purview to subvert the First Amendment.
Someone terms on both sides have to be on it. If they're not and I allow that, I'm asking chaos to take control of my life.
I've got 9 active duty soldiers on that jury. I will not allow you to waste their time. Is there something wrong?
I don't think so. Is there?
I think I'd like to leave now.
I'm afraid I can't allow that, Mr. Dolan.
But in court, we do have to go by the rules. Let me ask something I think Mrs. Florrick will allow me to ask.
And just when he's about to resign himself to his miserable, doomed fate, we allow the son of a bitch to escape with his life. Some people are victims because they allow themselves to be.
That's right, Shane. Don't allow it. Eat the bear.
I have nowhere to go. Do you think that you could allow me to stay in your garage while I figure out what the fuck I'm doing with my life?
2 days.
This station is being built here because of its proximity to what we believe to be an almost limitless energy. And that energy, once we can harness it correctly, it's going to allow us to manipulate time.
Primitive.
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 Boxing. Primitive.
Selves. I'm macho.
Primitive. He may think the same of us.
Yeah.
Tell us about the hunt.
That's pretty primitive, you know? I mean, I don't know how else to describe chasing down a rabbit with our bare hands, you know?
The end of primitive organic life and the dawn of a more advanced age.
Thanks from the UNLV.
Primitive, huh?
We're so far from Earth that there's no way that these primitive, ancient civilizations could have possibly known about it. But it just so happens.
Yes, she lost a battle with some primitive.
Thanos put Gamora under your trap.
These people are primitive. I've seen how they live.
Primitive aftercare for a primitive sport.
While this might look primitive, I assure you, this is the result of years of painstaking research.
He's dark, looming, powerful, holding a primitive weapon.
Castle, that is a person.
Accomplish.
Accomplish. Accomplish. Accomplish.
Accomplish.
Got it. Fly the plane. Don't be ridiculous. It has to be something she can actually accomplish. Accomplish. A girl on the Clipper Horizon made it happen. Really?
Riley's taking the bait. Callan is done in 2 hours what easily could have taken 2 years to accomplish. Infiltrate a paranoid extremist group.
Why,
then you could go on with your work. Just think of all you could accomplish, could accomplish, could accomplish.
I'm not going to go. So I think that will accomplish the not going.
So I guess that means you can't go out tonight?
Women can accomplish a shocking number of things while sloughing endometrial lining.
It's forbidden from, you know.
I can absolutely tell him that we think he's too young, but I don't think it's going to do any good.
Well, then the least we can do is go search his room, and if we find any more of these, we'll confiscate them.
And that will accomplish what?
Look, I'm sorry he's dead. But I don't even know what the hell not Penny's boat means.
Calling Jack accomplishes nothing.
It would accomplish warning him.
Why are you still here? I mean, when we met, you said you would only be in Berlin for 1 week.
The job I'm on is proving harder to accomplish than I thought.
I've got time.
We are out of time. Semak must be dealt with before he learns the truth.
And the only way you can think to accomplish that is for Alex to die.
Chairman, we tried. His assistant said he was on sabbatical, although we distinctly heard his office window open and shut.
Gentlemen, there's a task I'm trying to accomplish here, and I'm having trouble doing it.
A neophyte such as you wouldn't know these things, but I do. I have other ways to accomplish our goal.
Objective.
Objective. Objective. Objective.
Objective.
Maybe your rating is not so objective. 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 You know what? I better be on my way.
Castle may be right. Sarah was the objective. The objective. The objective.
I'm not concerned with his feelings. I'm concerned with the objective. Objective. Objective.
We seem to be pretty good at that.
The Phantom device can't mask a radio broadcast. Our mission objectives will be compromised.
What are our mission objectives?
To remain undetected, of course.
Oh, wow. He is hot. I'm not going to lie to you, I don't think I can be objective anymore. I'm rooting for that guy. I want him to win.
The game can only be won by pursuing seemingly opposing objectives.
Unnecessary noise to cover the thief's actual objective. Martial art commonly known as Zen archery. The objective is to achieve mushin, a state of mindless...
Castle, I'm sorry, but you can't be objective on this one, so I'm gonna have to pursue it on my own.
She's my mother, which is exactly why someone needs to take a close, objective look at her. What do they want with you?
What all assassins want, to terminate their objective.
Oh, that's crazy.
Especially for you. Microfragments attracted to kinetic energy. Firestorm was tonight's main objective, but getting you, that's just gravy.
Mean punch.
Let's assume you were here to stop him. We still don't know his objective.
No.
Philosopher.
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 The philosopher Henri Bergson says it's funny when a human being behaves like an object.
This guy was an inventor. He was a philosopher. He was,
Give us a quote of your favorite philosopher.
Philippa Foot was an English philosopher.
Oh, my God.
Life is a test.
Oh, no, philosopher king bullshit. Money, please.
Jeremy Bentham was a British philosopher.
We've all heard the proverbs, heard the philosophers, heard our grandparents warning us about waste.
Good. Michel Foucault was a French historian and philosopher associated with the structuralist.
From the time of ancient Greece to the present day, philosophers and scholars have argued man is essentially rational. I don't happen to agree.
Tame.
Tame. Tame. Tame.
Tame.
In all computer and support skills, no surprise there. But you have a certain tame demeanor around the office. It says you've never even held a gun.
You know,
He even tamed that guard dog? Tamed that guard dog? Tamed that guard dog? He could actually pull this off.
Well, I'm staying here with you.
No, you're not. I need to do this alone. They need to know that it was a woman who tamed the evil.
Now, every so often, something appears that is so horrible, so vicious, it cannot be tamed.
Sort of does that.
So we tell him that's what we're giving him.
It's pretty tame stuff. It wouldn't kill him, and he might know that.
I guess Istanbul was too tame for you.
I know how to tame your little filly. Better have a drink.
Alex Newcomb. Oh, that's terrible. Is that thing tame? Bananas? Oh, he ain't flung poo since I bought him this hat.
How'd you do that?
Same way I'm going to get you a tame psychologist.
You have to tame them, or you will die. We will all die. Their hate will destroy this hospital, and then the whole planet.
When compared to this, hanging a guy off a roof and throwing a guy in a shark cage, it's pretty tame.
If you take away the spectacles and the braces, tame the permanent wave a bit, I do believe that you and Betty Harris look a great deal.
Harold, stop.
Rapid. If I can whip Congress into submission, I'm not afraid of a little white water.
You can't tame a rapid, Frank.
Identity. Identity.
Identity.
Identity.
Identity.
His identity was compromised, and he wound up spending 2 years in a Taliban-controlled prison.
Her struggle to find her own identity? The emotional turbulence of a first crush?
If he feels like his identity may be compromised,
Houston, please confirm identity.
Make 3 visits to a neurological clinic under a false identity. Give blood, leave fingerprints, and not have us find out about it.
He's got a little bit of an identity crisis. He harassed my son. Which meant that if they ever discovered their father's true identity, they'd have been able to sue for a piece of his considerable estate. Potentially.
I believe I've uncovered the real identity of Henry VIII. It all starts with the corpulent Abraham Zellner. It was an assumed identity, used for the express purpose of an obesity discrimination lawsuit. When the airline that Zellner sued made its first lowball offer of settlement, he accepted. Probably because he knew that his false identity would not stand up to scrutiny.
She wanted her identity kept secret, but
So what is Captain Fallout's secret identity?
His name is Alex Baker.
Convention.
Convention.
Convention. Convention.
Convention.
In the truck.
One vacancy in this entire pissant town? Come on, what is this? A convention destination? A convention destination? A convention destination?
I particularly have no love for the desert donkeys, but I do have some for the Geneva Convention. Geneva Convention. Geneva Convention.
Insignias. No flag of origin. It's a violation of the Geneva Convention. Geneva Convention. Geneva Convention.
Shit. And then waiting for them to come after it before you snatch it away. That's torture. That's against the Geneva Convention.
Order stating that my men will be accorded the protection guaranteed prisoners of war by the Geneva Convention.
But I got more technology in my pocket. I can't fly in like I'm at an Apocalypse Now convention.
2634.
There's no need for that. The Geneva Convention doesn't exist anymore. Hell, Geneva doesn't exist anymore.
Encryption or secret codes as required by Article 34 of the Second Geneva Convention for the amelioration of the condition of the wounded, sick, and shipwrecked members of the armed...
Town this weekend, so I assume our victim was going to attend.
Okay, it's a comic book convention.
Gentlemen, this video is from a psychiatric convention in Dallas from 3 years ago.
Max, tell us exactly what happened.
Well, a few months ago, Jerry invited me to attend the convention with him.
The world's eyes upon him, he continues to ignore precedent, convention, and some would say the law.
Arm.
Arm.
You know, all I want to do is go back. Would you let go of my arm?
Zach!
What happened?
It's my arm. It's my arm. It's my arm.
Where?
I was skateboard.
Oh my God, that's your mom's arm. You're famous. No, your mother's arm is famous.
There are trees everywhere.
Ow! Hey!
Sorry. So sorry.
How would you like it if I just walked up to you and broke your arm off?
Ow!
3 times removed. On your right arm side.
You have a cousin?
Frank, if your arm could talk, he would tell you that the original owner of your arm had a brother.
Nice weekend. You call this a nice weekend? This is sad. I'd give my left arm to be with my wife right now, and all Sammy wants to do is cheat on his.
Fight. Hey, you got my arm, you little sod.
Let's get you looked at first. How's that arm doing?
Hurts like shit.
Oh my fucking God, is he alright?
Look at all my blood, Mom.
Is it just his arm? There's...
What happened to your arm?
I dropped my keys in the porta potty. Tried to get them out.
What's going on with your arm?
It's been sore since I woke up.
Skim.
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 Skim. Skim.
Scrolls 1 through 49 to understand the importance of 50.
How about I skim 1 through 49, huh?
No, you will take these scrolls to the library and read them all, start to finish. Good luck.
I can just skim it, right? Skim it, right? Skim it, right?
No.
What did I skim over? Skim over. To unlock the cage, use the key which can be found at the start of the corridor.
Feel free to kind of skim over those details as much as you want. Yeah, that's cool.
Early harvest.
Of course, my lord.
What kind of grade are we getting from the skim?
Excellent product, sire.
Some weekends I simply skim the Nikkei reports.
Grande skim latte, 2 pumps, sugar-free vanilla.
Castle, I think you've read my mind.
Hello. Hey, have you told your parents you're dating this short glass of skim milk here?
That's different.
OJ and coffee.
That's mine.
And a small coffee with skim milk.
Check it out, I will. Your fans, they pay cash, right? Makes it pretty easy for you to skim off the top.
And the money's just HR's skim off the Russians. A percentage kickback to your friends in blue for turning a blind eye to the Yogorov business.
You want a skim latte? Sure. Careful, the lid's not really...
Accent.
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 Only direction it could be fired from. Excuse my accent. Excuse my accent. Excuse my accent. When I get passionate, my accent comes out more.
He hung up.
He probably couldn't understand you with your fucking lame accent. Lame accent. Lame accent.
No, he understood me. He's broke.
We've never been on a real date.
It's okay. What's your cover?
Playboy son of a Texas oil tycoon.
Oh, well, I like the accent. I like the accent. I like the accent.
I'm glad you do, man.
It's some metaphor we use mindlessly.
Yes, I have, Your Honor. Navy Pier. It's really good. Helps get out your aggressions.
What's your name again?
Damien Boyle.
In what part of Ireland?
Oh, no, the accent's fake. I'm from Queens.
There's a wow, and you let him do all of that? I didn't really have a choice. He's kind of old school that way. Kind of like Ricky Ricardo with a different accent.
Yeah, just like
Codes. Harry, stop. Listen, you have a sexy accent and the baby blues. So walk into Genside and make the clerk tell you the information.
I never smoke. By the way, why don't you have an accent?
I watched more TV. Circuit. And Jill works it in town, parks in the handicap spots.
Jill Corleone.
She does the Jersey accent. It's kind of sad.
Just leave me alone.
I can't leave y'all alone. We's kinfolk.
Will you please stop talking like that?
Why? I needs to practice my new accent. Y'all done good learning me the secret to popularity.
You're an angel. You are. I'm in love with you. I am. Positively in love with you.
That was your English accent?
Yeah.
Bond.
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 Bond. I thought the journey would help you bond. But since you don't want to be a team, there's nothing I can do.
What am I doing?
You're trying to bond. Bond. Bond.
No, I'm not.
Why did you cry?
Because I felt safe. Because I was surrounded by my brothers.
Brothers have a bond that goes beyond friendship.
Bring him in, you get 10% of the bond. Adds up.
Yeah. Well, that's hilarious. I feel like you guys got some sort of special bond or something.
Your eyes have a special bond.
Ionic bonds. Chapter 6.
Our contract is our bond. If we break our bond, no one will hire the second sons again.
And in order to forge a lasting bond with the Merenese people, I will marry the leader of an ancient family.
Our bond always allowed me to know what you were thinking.
Even a dyad's bond is nothing compared to theirs.
You know, trying to bond with me. So save your breath.
It's in the contract, but he's gonna pay me $45,000 for the storefront. That, with what little I got saved, I can pay that bond.
Associate.
Associate. Associate.
Associate.
Associate.
You've got henchmen in your cell? Cool. We prefer the term associate. Fung.
Hello, dear.
Hey. Hi. From Galweatherstern.
You can go in. Great. Your associate's already in with Mr. Pincus.
Our associate? Associate? Associate?
It's in there.
Mr. Dobbs, I'd like to introduce you to my associate, James Maine.
Mr. Maine.
Hey, I'm Dan, the security man.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, what's up? Hey, I'm sorry, buddy, I didn't see you back there.
It's my associate, Bob. Actually, he's my brother. He's a simple.
I know the wedding hasn't been the smoothest. Do you seriously think, under any circumstances, I would allow my daughter to associate with you, the backpacker? And now, since we've had a little change of plan between the police showing up and you sucking out all of my associates, I want you to break into the vault.
Timothy Harris, location manager.
Marianne Boyd, screenwriter.
Rachel DeWart, production designer.
Sean Bissett, associate producer. All right, let's go make a movie.
You're harassing a U.S. attorney. I want your name so I can charge you with slander.
Oh, yeah, sure. It's Neil Caffrey. I'm Agent Burke's criminal informant. I'm also an associate of Curtis Hagen, and I stole the coins you were paid with.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Rebecca Lowe. Who referred me?
An associate? From Zurich?
I'm not a Fed.
Peter Burke, FBI. This is my associate, Neil Caffrey. This is my Mozzie.
And who are you?
He's my associate.
You leaving me with him? He's an animal.
But that's what makes him such an effective and loyal associate.
I want you to go to Turkey and track this woman.
Who is she?
Former associate of Nikita's, someone she became rather close to during her time at Division.
She and her associate killed half of my men. I cannot let that stand.
Superior.
Superior. Superior. Superior. Superior.
Mr. Blood, I see you've met Miss Roshev. She's my
Superior.
partner.
We're 10 minutes late.
Major. Still don't know when you're talking to a superior.
In the Superior Court of Starr County, State versus Moira Queen, verdict.
Could I speak to your superior, please?
My superior will back me up in this matter.
Now, why is it that engineers always act superior to DJs?
No. The rest are there to look adoringly upon the 700 to remind them
how superior they must be to have the best seats.
Anyway, from what I can tell, the dressmakers in Highgarden will be far superior to the ones in King's Landing.
Oh, and on you both went about your great strengths. So superior to a higher angel, I thought we'd never hear the end of it.
It wasn't my place to challenge my superior. Dr. Gould made the ruling, and I respected it.
The Navy takes great pleasure in awarding Lieutenant Rollins on her professional achievement and superior performance while serving as an intelligence officer.
Have you seen Blue, Mother Superior?
No, but everyone is looking for you.
Mother Superior, we need your help. I know something's wrong. I sense a great deal of dark magic has been expelled.
Not only have the Eshveni resorted to espionage, as General Porter has pointed out, but they have been forced to deploy their superior terrain droids.
Recommend. 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 Recommend.
Could you recommend a dessert?
Oh, you know what's awesome is the,
I was talking to Gary.
Oh, sorry.
I highly recommend the coconut balls.
Oh, okay, so what do you recommend? Recommend.
Oh, what do I recommend? Don't share needles and use condoms.
Yes. Man, the only thing that cures grief is time. Unless you're recommending a lot of alcohol. I can't really recommend alcohol. Man, it'd be great if you could, though, right? I recommend time. I recommend time. I recommend time.
And just one other thing, our business is actually not that great right now, so if you could recommend us to any of your friends, that would really help.
To Mr. Peter's Noodle Shop. 4 out of 5 herbalists recommend noodle soup for river fever.
How are you gonna do that?
I recommend not going.
XO, recommend disengaging the fuel hose on our end.
Sir, if you mean to do this, then I recommend we have a Helo-Fly low zigzag to make it harder for someone to track it.
And what do you recommend?
Let me not sit and wait for Stannis to decide what sort of fight this is going to be.
It's my pre-packed disaster evacuation bag. It's recommended by the Department of Homeland Security. And Sarah Connor.
You're selling shares in a very exclusive retirement community.
Very sound investment in your future. I recommend you buy.
May I take your order?
What do you recommend, young lady?
Well, we're out of everything but pizza.
Okay, well then I guess it's pizza.